Speaking of the good stuff, there's a new Republic of Ireland jersey being launched this morning. Jonathan Courtenay, as is becoming tradition now, Jonathan, on a Friday morning, when these things happen, joins us from JACC Sports, who are behind this latest jersey. Morning to you, Johnny.
Morning, how's it going?
Good. I think we can give our viewers a look at a glimpse of what this new jersey looks like. We'll put that up on screen in a minute. Will you tell us a little bit? You can see it there now. Tell us a little bit about the story behind how it's come together.
Sure, yeah. Well, look, the way we looked at this kit cycle for kind of the home and away, and even the centenary jersey that we did last year, the blue one, everything was looked at through the lens of its CFAI centenary. So we wanted to do some authentic kind of things that related back to Ireland. Obviously, the blue was self-explanatory, and we've discussed that one before. Our first kit that we ever wore. We brought the orange back for the first time in 25 years as an integral part of the colour of the flag. And now for the 2022 home kit, the way we tried to look at it was, what can we do to do something kind of uniquely Irish? So the pattern in the jersey is effectively taken from the way you see the fields of Ireland when you fly in over the country. So we were kind of going, it's been 2 years, let's say, since people have probably been able to travel home. This was when we were starting the design process. It was kind of 2 years, people away from the stadium. And we wanted to incorporate that 40 shades of green piece alongside, I suppose, the unsymmetrical kind of shapes of the fields of Ireland. So there's nothing, it's not like when you fly in over Holland and you've rows and rows of flowers and it's all very straight and lined up. So we wanted to give that kind of broken feel to the whole aesthetic of the jersey. So that's kind of where it came from. And because of the way the jersey is now cut, every single jersey will be unique. So there's a one big overall pattern, but because you're cutting it into different sizes and embroidering, the badges and the Umbro logos and stuff in different places, every single jersey will actually be different, which is a first in terms of an Irish shirt.
That's great. And I know we chatted to you the last time, but when you do shoots with the players and stuff, did you get a chance to get any feedback from the players on it?
We just the way the timings fell this time, we actually didn't do a shoot with the players. So, the jersey is launching in time for St. Patrick's Day, effectively, is what we've tried to do here. And there hasn't been an international match since last November, so there hasn't been a squad basically here in the Castleknock Hotel or whatever to try and get that done yet. So actually the jersey will be worn, the kit I should say, will be worn for the first time in that centenary, the official centenary game against Belgium in the Aviva in March, and then the women's team will wear it away to Sweden in the qualifier in April.
You mentioned the timeline over there. It's normally it's 15 months, right, since the last home jersey, but we would normally have something sort of once every 12 months.
It does vary. It depends on certain things, fixture cycles and bits and pieces like that. But generally speaking, you're not far off. Generally speaking, a home kit runs somewhere around 18 months, and the away kit will change every year. That's more or less in line with what everybody else does these days. It's kind of it's to be expected from an international kit rotation, if you like. We've obviously had one extra kit effectively in there recently, which was the blue kit. But I mean, that was obviously done for a very specific reason when you're celebrating centenary.
The blue kit is going to haunt you for the rest of your life, in that people are going to be constantly saying, when is the blue kit coming back? Bring back the blue kit.
Yeah, we've certainly had a lot of that. I mean, people kind of bombard you on Twitter and stuff like that saying, oh, I missed out on it and blah, blah, blah. All I can say is, look, we kind of did plenty of advertising. We let everyone know that it was going to be a limited edition. And when it's limited, it's not really fair to the people who did go out and buy them to just run another, I think, batch, if you like. So that number, I think, it was 2,000 or so we did, and the lucky 2,000 who have them, and I don't think many will be letting them go at this point, because they have already become a kind of collector's item if you can find one.
Run another batch is what the audience are saying this morning, Jack.
More or less.
I can predict the comments that are going to come in. Run another batch. And we were chatting before as well about, and I know that you were very bullish at that time talking about it, and why wouldn't you be? You've been designing, JACC Sports have been designing Ireland jerseys for donkey's years, so why wouldn't you be bullish about it? But at the same time, the sort of trepidation of looking at the FAI handle this morning to see what the public reaction is going to be.
Yeah, look, I mean, I think I've kind of alluded to this before. I don't think worrying about what people say online about a football shirt is what would get you up in the morning. It would probably keep you in bed in the morning for anything else. But I was just thinking about it. I thought you might say something along those lines. I basically packed my daughter off to school, 8-year-old daughter off to school, wearing blue and yellow this morning. They're having a fundraiser for Ukraine. So I'm finding it hard to correlate worrying about a few online trolls comments about a football jersey when there's a lot bigger things going on in the world, to be honest with you.
Yeah, absolutely. And they'll always have something to say about it. And it's a nice jersey. Were you worried in any way about, like, it's not, it's certainly not the same or anything like it as the rugby jersey that's in a same sort of design. Was there any concern about that, or is that just...
We obviously we were aware. I know the one you're talking about. There was an RFU jersey about 3 years ago-ish. They kind of, now their pattern obviously, although on the face of it there's a bit of similarity. If you look at it, they kind of use triangles and they use black, a lot of black in that shirt. Whereas obviously we're trying to use the Irish colours, and we're using something that's and this is obviously in no way a criticism of the RFU, I don't mean it that way. They were using some sort of triangular patterns, geometric shapes and stuff. We're using basically the Irish landscape. So although on the face of it may seem like there's some similarities there, it's absolutely not, and we weren't in any way inspired by what they did or anything like that. We took it at face value, as I said, on trying to capture that feeling, I suppose, that the Irish diaspora or even people who live here who feel when they see Ireland from above as they fly back into the country and see that kind of unique 40 shades of green landscape.
Yeah, no, it's a lovely shirt, and I'm sure it'll be well received as well. And we might just lash it up there for viewers to have another look at it as well before we wrap. It's a nice piece of kit. There we go. And you'll be able to get your hands on it, Johnny, I presume. Available, what, if people want to get their hands on it, when is it available? Is it good to go?
Yeah, it's available from 9 o'clock this morning on faishop.com and in OTB Sports. So that's where it will be available for most people to go out and see it. And as I said, it'll be worn for the first time by the men against Belgium and the women against Sweden. And the jersey, I was talking to the producers there yesterday. So what I'm going to do, we mocked up a jersey there, the very first jersey. It was the original sample that came in, which is kind of hanging up behind me there. We stuck a 22 on the front of that, the sleeve badges on, and it actually has the fixture for Ukraine, which is slated for the 4th of June. Now, obviously, as it stands, nobody knows whether that fixture will go ahead or not. Obviously, everybody hoping that it will. But I'm going to raffle that jersey effectively. I'm just going to do it through my own Twitter, which is at Johnny Courtenay. I'm going to stick that up now in a few minutes, and I'm going to try and do a fundraiser for the Red Cross for Ukraine. So we appreciate any bids or anybody who might want to bid on that shirt, which will be a unique piece of kit as the first off the production line, so to speak.
That's a brilliant gesture, Johnny. As you say, people can go onto your Twitter handle, and the Red Cross in Ukraine that money will be going directly into helping people affected by the attack on the country. And it's, as Johnny said, it is a lovely jersey. It's an extra special piece of kit for the reasons that Johnny has mentioned. We're going to put your Twitter handle off our own social media account so people can easily access it, and I presume you'll put some sort of a time limit on it, but we'd like people to jump on there, get involved, make a bid way over the odds. The money is going to an amazing cause, so get involved with it. And as Johnny said, at Johnny Courtenay on Twitter is the place to go. We will put that link up on our own Twitter account. Johnny Courtenay, Managing Director at JACC Sports, thanks a million for joining us.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Good man. That's Johnny Courtenay, and it's a brand new jersey, and he said it's available just in the last 10 or 12 minutes. So